He could have killed me, but he didn't.
And to look through them. Play as man. Play as Kong. Play Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. Coming November 22nd, 2005. Rated E10 to...
Hey, friendly neighborhood geek here, doing another action figure, or more like collectible re-review. I think I did an unboxing of this item when I got it, like a long time ago, like 5 years ago. Wow, hard to believe it's been that long. This is one of my favorite characters in all of fiction. Very, very, very well-known movie monster. So that gives you a hint. But again, if you see the title of this video, you already know who it is. So, yes, but um, this is my favorite adaptation of this character. This is the version I grew up with, and I remember that year very fondly because of that movie coming out and all the praise it got and commercials and trailers and merchandise. You know, it was really like a big budget production. So we are looking at Peter Jackson's King Kong. Yes, this plushy Kong who has a little bit of posability. Um, this is very cool. So growing up, I had the King Kong action figure playset. I had some of the individual, carded or packaged figures that came in packages. So different versions of Kong with different gimmicks, and maybe he came with different creatures that were in the movie. And I had a big Kong, which could roar and move some of his joints. I had that as well. So I had like a little minifigure Kong. I had a squishy Kong. I had the regular size action figure of Kong, and I had the big electronic Kong. So I never had this growing up. I didn't even know this existed. I saw this. I see I'm holding on to my finger. I saw this. I found this randomly on eBay, and that's how, like I said, I got it. I didn't know it existed. Um, Now, a lot of that 2005 King Kong merchandise goes for a lot of money. I really wish I held on to my figures. I remember one of the last pieces I had was two dinosaurs. One I gave to a cousin. The other one I just kept in my collection. I think I ended up selling it or throwing it away because it was just it was broken in some areas. Um, yeah, so I wish I held on to those. But I do have this. For what I remember, he wasn't relatively too expensive, like $30, $40. I probably don't plan on selling this because, again, I have the DVD. Like I said, it's my favorite version of Kong. So I'm fine with just having one piece of memorabilia to remember this movie by. So yeah, like I said, I probably won't get rid of them. Um, there was a Monster Arts, Monster Arts version. And that figure's kind of dated by today's standards, but that figure is still very charming. That thing, last time I saw that for sale, it was like $800. So try to give you all an idea of how expensive merchandise based off this movie goes for. Um, but yeah, let's take them out. And another plus, the batteries still work. I'll have to turn them on. I could have did it off screen. I turned the batteries off to prevent them from dying. But I mean, this doll is like almost 20 years old, like 17, 18 years old, and the batteries still work. That's phenomenal. Put him to the side, and you see we have instructions in here, but because it's taped in there, I didn't remove it. I did not remove it. battery saver tab, pull out, then press try button. You see I kept the twist ties in here. I didn't really remove anything. It looks like on the inside. It says try me, squeeze chest to hear Kong roar. You see uh, some of the people who were on the venture on the boat at the bottom. Kong. It said this was made by Playmates, 2 AA batteries. Playmates still has the license. They're still making figures based off MonsterVerse. Um, so yeah. Um, Nothing at the bottom. Ages 4 and up. It's a package printed in China, product of China, 2005. It says they were located in California. It says superposable. Yeah, so the packaging on the back is really nice. I like it has them like on top of a digital rock cliff. That's cool. How he looks in the back looks a little bit better, honestly, than the actual Kong you get. Like the fur around the head is a little bit more, like just kind of has more going on, which I kind of like, honestly. It says real Kong fur, realistic face, hands, and feet. I'm curious how much this was back in the day. Official Kong merchandise. Universal. So yes, I had a Supreme Kong, and I think there were 2 versions of this. There were 2 versions of this Kong. One that was like a little bit more slender, I think. He came with a little Ann, which was cool. We got this Kong versus V-Rex battling game. Creatures of Skull Island. I think I had all of these. I had all of these creatures. I had the Skull Island playset. So I'll read the bio. He is massive, he is mighty, he is Kong, and he's all yours. Kong, what was it? Okay, now you can relive all of Kong's amazing adventures or create brand new ones with super lifelike Kong. Authentically detailed with Kong fur and jungle rumbling. Squeeze, activated roar. Kong is the perfect go anywhere gorilla. Yeah, like I said, the packaging is charming. Has his face in the corner. I dig it. There's a company called Kelly Toy. I'm not sure if they're still around. They used to make like plushies based off certain brands and properties, like Claw Machine and stuff. And they made a couple of plushie Kongs based off this movie. I still wouldn't mind. I almost got some of those a few times and ended up passing on them, but I would like to get them at some point. So I see he has a loose string on the back, which I won't mess with. He has a tush tag. So it says superposable. Well, sort of. I could tell he might have some bendy joints. Of course, the hands and feet are in a single pose or like a rubbery material. I mean, the fur is nice. The fur is nice. Yeah, like he's a very charming figure. Me as a child, I think I probably would have liked this more than the what is it? than the Supreme Kong. I'm grateful that none of the fur has really deteriorated. So the quality on him, it seems like I'm glad the seller seemed to have had him in I guess a storage area, a space where he wouldn't have deteriorated over time. There is a piece of fur that is in the box, but like I said, it doesn't really seem to be an issue, which I'm grateful for. Yeah, like I said, I don't think the head is movable like I said, I don't know how movable the feet are. Like you can get him, like yeah, you can get him in a crouched position. Since he was intended to be more like a traditional silverback gorilla, so he was on all fours. Of course, the 33 Kongs kind of stood up straight like a Sasquatch, Bigfoot. Um, so yes, so NECA it was a Mezco as well, but NECA made a King Kong more based off the original 33 movie. I have been wanting that figure for years. It's been out for like a couple of years. Um, I really wanted that figure. I think he'd make a great display piece just to mess around with. But the first release didn't come with a closed mouth. I know it sounds silly. I wanted him to come with a closed mouth, an open mouth, a roaring mouth. He only came with an open mouth and a roaring mouth. They have released other versions, so I'm sure there's someone on eBay. I think I've seen it where I could buy like the hands separately. I could buy the face's head separately, and have him the way I would like to have him to be. Um, so again, I'll probably do that at some point because I would really love to have that NECA King Kong. Um, but like I said, he's cool. Now it is a little funky seeing these ridges in his chest for his voice box, but the detail on the plastic areas are nice. The detail on the hands and feet are nice. Can't see it, but he has like official merchandise, his logo on his foot. Um, like I said, the face is nice, nice face. He's a very charming toy. Like I said, I probably would have liked this more, honestly, than the Supreme Kong. Um, yeah. So, like I said, very, very charming. Just not, I don't know, I just wish he was more posable. Like, I could see the hands. You see, the hands are posable. He's able to hold his hand up like that. The arms are posable. But, um, and the arms are maybe a little connected because they move. But I don't know. Yeah, like I said, he's cool. I dig him. Like I said, but it's for children. You're supposed to use your imagination. So, two AA batteries. Let's see what he sounds like. Uh, to close the, oh, close his back up off screen. Um, yeah, close back up off screen. Okay, let's see if I can get him to roar. Okay, that was cool. Let's do it again. So again, 17 years later, and the voice box still works. These batteries still work. My Herculoid set, uh, they came with the leader of the team, Xandor, and their dragon, Zoc. Zoc has had the ability to have her eyes glow. Like in the show, she would shoot lasers from her eyes. So that figure came out in like 2000, like super early 2000. I can't remember specifically. Brand new in box, and those batteries still worked. They still do. Last time I checked. So again, fun figure. Real quick, because I do have her, and I will be whenever I get that NECA Kong. He does have hands, gripping hands. I will definitely have her displayed with that NECA King Kong. She will be my stand-in for Andero, my little Um, 1959 World's Smallest Barbie Doll. She does come with a little pair of sunglasses. I'm a casual Barbie fan. I don't know if I'd say I'm a diehard. I had a reproduction of this doll, but she was a brunette. I like the brunette version a little bit more than the blonde version. I gave that to my mom. My mom grew up with Barbie, so I gave that to my mom, and I got her a little version of this, but it was the 1970s version because she grew up with Barbie in the 70s. But there are a handful of dolls. Like I like the vintage ones. Not really too big on the modern ones, but I would like to buy another version of this doll, the reproduction, because I really, really like the 1959 Barbie doll, the original Barbie doll. Um, so you can see, she can kind of sit in his hand. Um, yeah, so grip her in his hand. And you see they scale well together. So another fun fact, so kind of have to pose her a certain way, but that's cool. Um, yeah, it's cool. What I was saying, my Human Alliance Bumblebee with my little Shia LaBeouf minifigure, she can sit in there too. Her legs, like there really isn't a lot of space for her feet because they're long. They're long. Well, but um, if you position her a certain way, you can get her to sit in the seat, which in the vehicle mode it was intended for to have Shia and like Michaela, his girlfriend at the time. And she came with another figure. So I think that's really cool. Um, and she can fit inside that Bumblebee, that Human Alliance Bumblebee. But like I said, they look good together. There was a plush of Kong released years ago that dropped her, that came with an Anne in his hand. She was removable, which is cool. There is a Barbie. There is a Barbie. I have her in this little display case. It says world's smallest on one side. On the other side, it's supposed to say Barbie, but the Barbie part is just she's laying on the Barbie part. So, um, yeah, there was a Barbie. I guess a Barbie themed King Kong. It came with like Kong's hand as an accessory, and you stuck her in the hand if you had her displayed out of her packaging. Um, and I remember seeing, and I wanted to do it back in the day because I thought it looked so cool. I saw in a magazine for Halloween costumes there was a gorilla suit, not knowing how hot those can be, and you could get like a cardboard box and put it around your waist, your abdomen, and emulate him on a building. And then they had like him holding person in the suit holding a Barbie doll to represent Anne. And I remember that really appealing to me. I was like, oh, I would love to do that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of it for this review. A very charming piece of merchandise. I dig them a lot. I think I would have liked them a lot. Yeah, I can hold on to my fingers. I would have liked them a lot back in the day. Very charming. So the detail on them. But 2005, Playmates did a good job. 2005. But yeah, like I said, that's kind of it for this video. I have two more re-reviews. One on another let's have them sitting there like that. One on another successful film franchise, which had a movie come out a couple years ago that I don't think a lot of people liked. I didn't really like it. Felt like it was a step down in quality. And I heard that they're making another one. So yeah, I'll have some things to say when I do that re-review. So that's another piece of movie memorabilia. Then my third re-review is going to be on a Transformer, which I already did a video on like around a couple years ago when I got it, maybe like 2 years ago. But that video, I was filming that on an older phone. I was wearing a hat, but the hat didn't blend in well with the quality. So yeah, this quality of that video hasn't aged the best. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a re-review for that character. Um, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys. Okay, so I forgot I wanted to add some more in regards to my uh, love for the King Kong 2005 movie. Um, like I said, I could watch that movie religiously. I've seen it thousands of times, never get tired of it. I do think the extended version is a little bit better because you get more scenes with the crew interacting with different creatures on the island. There was another action scene where they're on a boat, not on a boat, on a raft, and like these crab creatures or something tries to come on the raft and attack them, and they were able to fight them off. And then we find out that they were actually running away from something bigger and more dangerous. Um, and that's a fun scene. I know when I used to watch it on TMNT back in the day, they used to, not TMNT, TNT back in the day, they used to show that sequence, that scene that was cut out of the theatrical release, theatrical cut. Soundtrack, James Newton Howard. I think he worked on the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. Great. There's one, probably the best fight scene in the whole movie. The track that plays during that scene is very nostalgic for me. Like every time I hear that track, like I can listen to that orchestral track on its own. Like if I'm exercising, working out, whatever, that song like instantly takes me back to 2005, being a 5 year old. That's how impactful that movie was to me. Um, the cast did great. Naomi Watts, Adrian Brody, Jack Black, the rest of the cast all did a wonderful job. Um, seeing behind the scenes and stuff like that, really interesting, really, engaging, seeing how they brought everything together. Um, yeah, it's a good movie. There was a video game tie-in at the time, and the video game tie-in, it has some drawbacks. 17 years later, 17, 18 years later, it has some drawbacks, but for the most part, a lot of people still praise that game. A lot of people say it's probably one of the best movie tie-in games ever made, because movie tie-in games tend to not do so well. I do agree on that. I played the PS2 version uh, on my phone on emulator. I enjoyed it, but due to uh, the graphics being a little dated, it was kind of hard to kind of navigate, maneuver, figure out where to go. So I may check out GameCube version. I may check out the PC version. I know the PC version is like a port of the Xbox version. Xbox 360 version was like a next gen. I forgot what generation that is, but it has better graphics. Everything looks better and nicer. All that good stuff. There was a Game Boy game, which holds up. Um, so yeah, the video games still hold up. Yeah, I love King Kong. This is my favorite version of King Kong. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys.